All right, we are live. This is Scott Johnson with Keller Williams with my good friend Jessica Benge. So Jessica is going to tell you a little bit about herself.
So I've been in the mortgage business for about 6 years, and a loan program that's near and dear to my heart is the Renovation Loan Program. There are two different kinds. There's the 203K and then there's the home style. And some of you may know FHA, conventional, and those are the two different renovation loans. 203K is your FHA version. Home style renovation is your conventional version.
So if I'm looking to buy a home, can't find one that fits my needs or something that I want something specific, is a renovation loan a good choice for me?
A renovation loan is an excellent choice with the right lender because expectations have to be set properly with all parties. And in today's marketplace with the inventory shortage, you want to have this option. Sometimes the homes that need work are the ones that are on the market and you can get at a better price and you can get into contract with them, and you're not going to get in a multiple offer situation and be discouraged and lose the property. So a renovation loan is an excellent option for today's market.
Okay. So is there a dollar amount? Say I go out and I find have my real estate agent look, and they find me which would be me, but they find me a $50,000 house, and value's there. It could probably be worth $200 if it was fixed up. What's that value ratio that I need to make sure I'm watching out for?
Well, so a couple different things. When you're acquiring the property, we call that acquisition price. When you come to me to get pre-approved, we're going to pre-approve you for the final number. So if you know that you can go out and afford a $250,000 house, then you know that you can acquire this property for $50,000, and then you can put $200,000 in it. Okay. Does that make sense?
Right. What's the down payment look like and interest rates on that kind of loan?
Yeah, great question. Interest rates typically tend to be a 0.5 point to 1% higher depending on the program and obviously FICO score, LTV, all of that. Same for every loan, including the renovation loans. Down payment on the FHA 203K is just 3.5% down, and that is of the acquisition price plus your renovations. On the home style renovation, 5% down. Same thing of your acquiring price of the property plus your renovations. So if you acquire the property for $50,000, you put $1,000 or $100,000 in it, that's a $150,000 property, you're going to put 5% down of that for easy math.
Okay, so while the home, well, first question, and I get this question all the time. I love this house. I want to go in and fix this house up myself. So what do I need to do? Because I'm going to do all this stuff to me. Can I do the work myself?
So the guides say that you can do the work yourself. However, no lender ever allows that. So I like to say it that way because everybody does their research and it says that you can do it if you're a certified contractor or an electrician. Occasionally there may be a granting of that exception, but it's super rare. No lender usually allows any self-work. You always have to get a general contractor who can start the project themselves, who does have a reputable business. And by start the project, I mean fund the start of the project.
So the contractor is going to have to be a certain contractor because they're going to have some money to put up front. Then they're going to pull draws as they go through the process.
That's right.
And get the finished product. So not every contractor is going to be a person that can do that or want to do that.
Right.
You know, and they may charge you a little bit more because of what they're having to do. So I find a contractor, I found the house. Do I start paying my payments as soon as, or does it close before? How's that work?
Yes, so you would get into a purchase contract just like you would if you weren't doing a renovation loan. You get the bid completed by the general contractor, and I always tell everyone your timeline doesn't start until you have this piece. It seems easy, but sometimes it's hard because contractors don't like paperwork. And sometimes the bid comes in higher than what you expected, and then you have to get another general contractor to do it because you didn't like that bid. And by bid, I mean a fully executed on a document with the contractor's letterhead, their information on there. It's got to reference the buyer's name and the property address. And the bid has to be detailed, itemizing out labor and itemizing out materials. Also, whether it's structural or not will have to be put on the bid. the bid for the work to be done. So once we have that, our timeline to close the loan, processing, underwriting, closing begins. You get to the closing table, and then the work can begin on the property after you close.
Okay. So am I making a payment on the house am I making a payment on the loan amount of the whole house after it's completed, or am I making a payment on, if I bought the house for $50,000, for $50,000?
That's a great question as well. You will be making a payment on the acquisition price plus the renovation. Think of it as one loan. So when you buy the property for $50,000 and you want to put $100,000 in it, your total loan amount is $150,000 minus your down payment. And that's what you'll be making a payment on. If the property is inhabitable, then we can defer those payments for up to 6 months.
Okay. Any big gotchas or things people don't think about when they go with want to do a renovation?
Yeah, no family members doing the work. No self-work is the big thing. People call me all the time and they want to do the work themselves. And I try to tell them right away that that is a no-no on the loan, and just kind of save their time and my time. You have to get a third party involved. That's the big one.
Okay. Are these easier or harder to get in certain areas? I mean, if I say I'm in downtown Cincinnati versus Westchester, is it two different things, all the same process, or what?
Same process. What would be different geographically would be a HUD consultant. So if you are doing more than $30,000 worth of work, it's considered a full renovation and not a streamline, which is a smaller scope of a project. And you are required to get a HUD consultant involved. I have some that I work with in the areas that I do these loans, and sometimes in certain areas it's hard to find one. And I wouldn't say specifically in Westchester, Cincinnati, because I do have people,
right.
But like, Northern Ohio, the HUD consultant list that is on the HUD website is not updated, and I've called half of the HUD consultants listed and none of them do it anymore. So that could be the challenge.
Okay. So the thing to think about is you pay for, as though the house has completed, insurance on the property while you're fixing it up as well.
You got it.
Plus you got your gas, electric, everything's turned on, so there's all of the normal bills are there. You're just not able to live in the house. Or sometimes you can,
yeah,
depending on what the circumstance of the house
depending
is.
on your renovation appetite.
Okay. So I think that covers just about everything else with renovation loans. Good choice, good option, especially with right now where there's not as many homes on the market, and could be just somebody is looking for something specific that they want. They want a first floor master, and maybe you can put that in. So if you have any questions about these things, let us know. I work with Jessica exclusively, so she's great and can help you with all your loan needs. Anything else you need?
Last thing I wanted to say about the home style is home style, which is the conventional again, does allow investment properties. It does allow second homes. It allows pools.
Wow. Okay.
FHA, just primary residence, no pools.
Now, do you see a lot of people refinance after so many years of being in this?
Yes. Depending on the rate, we can refinance you up to 6 months from closing to get you in a market rate if that's needed.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, this is video 1 of this whole series. We're going to be meeting with Jessica on a weekly basis, talk about different loan and different ideas and different things out there. So if you have questions, go ahead and post them on this video, and we'll be sure to ask them the next time. And thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
And I'll see you next week.
It's good doing business with you.
Nice.